Now joined by Brian Spiegel. He's a senior correspondent at the Wall Street Journal's Beijing bureau. Brian, good morning. What do you make of this warning from Xi Jinping over Taiwan? Why so bullish during what was, it seems, meant to be more of a ceremonial visit?
Well, certainly this is a message that, the Chinese government wants to be out there. For those of us who follow China's position on this issue very closely, it's not a surprise what Xi Jinping said. But what is notable is the fact that they put it out there in such a bold way, the foreign ministry did. They want us to be talking about this issue. And in a sense, it put the United States, it put President Trump on the back foot. So I think it's a way for China to express its displeasure over many years of U.S. policy toward Taiwan, of cooperation with Taiwan. And it's a way to say, no more. We want to change the paradigm here. And they're looking to see if they can do that.
That doesn't appear to be a surprise, but interesting that they would mention that, considering everything else said publicly by both sides has been the things that they agree on. High-profile business executives have joined the president in his delegation. Do you think agreements can be reached on trade despite the tensions over Taiwan?
I think both sides, neither side is expecting a major breakthrough during the summit. In the lead up to the summit, that was not the goal. The goal was to begin this conversation and then to continue it later this year when President Xi is expected to travel to the United States. So no, I think it's notable that we have these big CEOs in town, including Tim Cook and Elon Musk and others. But no, we shouldn't expect that there's going to be a major breakthrough right now. That wouldn't be, that's what neither side is kind of projecting at the moment.
Yeah, it's also interesting that the two men have completely different negotiating styles. President Trump is much more brash, and he always likes to be, uses hyperbolic language. You don't hear that from the Chinese side. How do their negotiating styles differ?
Well, I think that's a really interesting question. If you look at how the Chinese side welcomed President Trump to Beijing today, everything was choreographed to such detail. And then when we saw President Trump make his opening remarks, he certainly was reading off of a script, but he also seemed to be speaking at times off the cuff. Right? So President Trump's clearly somebody who trusts his instincts. President Xi Jinping, meanwhile, is somebody, he's a creature of the Chinese system. He's somebody who knows this system incredibly well. He does not deviate from the script, and he does not take risks off the cuff. So I think keeping that in mind helps frame the negotiation between the two of them.
All right, Brian Spiegel, great to have you with us.